I'm a slightly below average artist who started learning programming 1 month ago, and I am attempting to brute force becoming a solo game developer because I'm introverted and don't work well with others. This episode, I'm mainly focusing on adding more scenes so that when I walk around in game, it feels like I actually accomplished something. I unfortunately wasn't able to get too much done over the holidays since I was stuck with my family. Nothing against them, but I didn't have my PC. But I did use that time to do some absolute cooking on the lore and the puzzles, whereas before I had general ideas, I now have exact puzzle mechanics planned down to the button. And I drew a map of what the next area is gonna look like, along with like a story progression and everything there. Fun fact, you're gonna want to take a shot every time I say puzzles, you're gonna have a great time. There's going to be 3 areas available in the demo that I'm working towards eventually. In terms of scenes, there will be a city area, a church area, and a somewhat expansive forest area. I finished the city area more or less, and right now in this video, I'm scoring off the church area of the game. This is the area where the game starts to show a bit more of its darker side. I'm not sure if I want to go like Franbo levels of dark, but it'll be at least a little fucked up. The way that I make art for the scenes in this game is, well, you might be able to tell if you watch the clips. They don't usually look that great before I add texture for some reason, but as soon as I use my paper towel brush, it brings it all together. It starts looking grungy, it starts looking purposeful, it starts looking like I added like particular perfect shades and such, and I've decided to use this brush damn near everywhere in the game except for the characters. I want them to pop out a bit, but I do like the way that it's fallen into place. Yeah, one of the biggest struggles in making this game is I'm trying to give like a 2.5D vibe, but I'm doing this entirely in 2D. And so when I have, like, say, one of these pews, I want the character to be able to walk behind it mostly, so I want it to render on top of the character, but then I have to block the character from being able to walk on top of it, and so it's gonna be very cheesy. I'm gonna have to cheese this a lot. Like, if I bring up the music store again, you'll notice it looks really weird because I have to have the shelves be like straight on orthographic view so it doesn't do any rendering on top of or below the character. Here I'm making the priest guy. I have decided to name him Alfred for now. Everyone can tell by like taking one glance at the church that it's at least medium evil, so I saw no need to like hide that in his character design. Might as well make him look evil straight off the bat. I also designed this woman. I think her name's probably gonna be like Mari or something. She's gonna be one of the like people that like stand around the church, one of the NPCs there. I'm currently planning on her being one of the more sane ones, because like one of the huge plot points of the game is that the world exists after the rapture, and like Earth is without a god, and what these people are trying to accomplish here in this church is pointless since there is no god to hear them. I also opened music making software for the first time in my life today. I'm using FL Studio since that's what the GOAT Toby Fox used for Undertale, and so here's how it's gonna go. Every area in the game is going to have a theme song, just like any other game, as you would expect. But the player has an MP3 player that can overlay music on top of the theme. Like, for example, if they play the pop track, it'll add like some vocals, a brighter melody to the already like baseline track of that area. Or like the hip hop track will add like a beat in the background, which I'm pretty excited for. Anyway, this is the progress I made for the church ambient music. Yeah, it's meant to be pretty spooky and simple so that other tracks can overlay it. I think it'll be kind of funny to have like this really somber, scary organ music, and then all of a sudden you get the hip hop track go. It'll really change up the vibe, but that's the point. Anyway, the player's gonna be able to find more of these MP3 tracks as they progress throughout the game. And some of them, they're key to solving some of the puzzles. Like say, you have to play the pop track in order to get past puzzle number 1. Yeah, you got what I meant the first time I said it. So player's gonna start off with 2 tracks, just pop and hip hop, and a couple tracks will be purchasable at the music store. Some are gonna be found organically throughout the game, and either 1 or 2 will be found in the church area specifically. I know that I want the gospel track to be found there, but I'm not sure if I want the goth track to be there too for the demo. I know that long term, I want the goth and the death metal tracks to be found in future areas. I don't know if I want to put everything right in this beginning area just for the demo, but I'll figure it out as I go. Another thing I made was a graphic for the altar puzzle. All the graphics I've made so far have been modeled in Maya and then painted over in Photoshop for trying to go for this brutalist sort of vibe and to make it look correct in perspective. Not that I've cared about perspective for any other art that I've made during this entire game. You've probably noticed, but for the environments, I've just sort of eyeballed the perspective, since 1, I'm lazy, and 2, I think it gives it a bit more of a charm and lends itself pretty well to the funky 2D style I got going on. But for the puzzle graphics, I want them to be a bit more exact and realistic. Something about it being a puzzle just makes me think that it has to be more serious and mechanical and cool looking. Anyway, one last thing is that I roughly animated the crows here on this tree. I did film myself doing this, but I accidentally deleted the clip because of course I did. Anyway, that's about it for Devlog number 2. Thank you for watching. And please, if you have any suggestions or advice for me, I'd love to hear it in the comments. I do have a Patreon and my Blue Sky linked in the description if you want to support me or keep up on the project more intimately. And see you next time, hopefully.